The Tower of Adversity just reset this week in Wuthering Waves, and I'm going to walk you through how I cleared it myself. Let's not waste any time and jump right in.
Alright, so let's start with level 100 Scar. The basic idea behind the Sanhua Calcharo duo is to build up enough Concerto energy on Sanhua, buff up Calcharo and switch into him, and then ult. So we'll do it in greater detail here. You want to use her resonance skill, then go into her ult, then use her heavy attack, stop it correctly for the detonate, use the echo, and then switch to Calcharo. You'll have enough Concerto energy by that time to get an intro on Calcharo, and then you do the combo basic skill, dash, basic skill, and then echo. I know a lot of people don't think that's necessary. Doing it that way allows me personally to be more mobile and dodge attacks and still continue the string of resonance skill attacks. And then you just keep doing this ad nauseum, right? So switch into Calcharo again, intro, basic skill, dash forward, basic skill, echo, heavy attack, and then right now I don't have the ult, but I'm going to get it there, so I use the ult and continue doing that. The ideal scenario is for you to land all 3 Death Messengers, of course. As always, against Scar, it's a little bit tricky. Again, please remember that this floor has an inherent bonus for using your Resonance skill. That gives you a 25% attack buff, so always make sure to try to use the Resonance skill before you do a Death Messenger. You're just going to get a lot more damage out of it that way. Now, one thing to keep in mind against Scar is that he attacks pretty frequently. Now, I know Kuro mentioned that they nerfed this and that he would be attacking less frequently now. In my experience, that's not the case. If anything, he attacks even more often. But anyways, maybe that's just me. So in general, when you are in Calcharo's ult, let's say you have to dodge one of Scar's attack, that's totally normal. Do it, don't just get hit. But when you do dodge, don't do the dodge counter, just cancel it again with another dash. That way you can continue building the Forte gauge and get the Death Messenger. As many as you can anyways. Sometimes you're only going to be able to get 2, but that's okay. Now, because this team builds so much Concerto energy, thanks to Sanhua, you can actually use the intros and outros to dodge some of Scar's attacks as well. So I'll show you that in slow motion here. Basically, you'll notice that I'm building the Forte gauge here. I'm keeping my eye on it. As soon as I get the Death Messenger, I switch. Now, that keeps Calcharo safe. And here, I'm going to build up Concerto energy on Sanhua, heavy attack, echo, and switch right there as he's attacking, as he's slamming down into the ground, and I completely avoid that attack as well. So it's just another thing to keep in mind. You can use that to your advantage to dodge his attacks. Alright, so let's get into the next floor with Jinhsi, Yuanwu, and Taoqi. Quick tip, keep your eye on this guy, this cannon guy. He's the one who tries to break away from the rest of the group and makes your life a lot harder because you have to chase him down. If you stick to this guy instead of the others will actually come into the group. They will actually chase you to him. So it makes it much easier to group them together. Now, at the initial stage of this fight, I'm not really doing much other than focusing on where that cannon guy is. I'm not trying to get a perfect rotation. I'm just trying to keep them grouped up and do as much damage as I can while they are grouped up. Now, if you can do the basics, of course, please do so. Like, for example, over there, I get the buff on Yuanwu by proccing a heal. We'll get into that in greater detail in just a moment against the boss. But again, you see them coming in to the cannon guy. That's why I keep focusing on that cannoneer. And then I can kill them, and the boss appears. So at this stage is when I'm trying to focus more on my rotation. So let's rewind and do it one more time slowly. Basically, after this E, the boss appears, and I hit my intro on Taoqi immediately. As she's doing her intro, right before the 4th hit, basically, I switch to Yuanwu. On Yuanwu, I'm trying to proc a heal, right? That's 72 that you see on screen. That buffs everyone. As soon as I do that, I echo into Taoqi again, and then intro into Jinhsi. At this point, you can see her Forte gauge is practically full. I get hit there, whatever, that's just a mistake. And then, with all of the buffs, 333,000 damage on her Resonance skill right there. And then you keep doing this, basically. From there, you switch to Taoqi again, into Yuanwu, then back to Taoqi. The goal is never to really have an intro on Yuanwu. All you want to do is get an intro from Taoqi into Jinhsi. So the best way I've found to do it is Taoqi, Yuanwu, proc a heal, echo, go back to Taoqi, finish building your Concerto, go into Jinhsi, like that. So let's do this slower again. So, Taoqi intros. I'm going to attack. You're going to see Yuanwu come in now during her intro. He's going to proc that plus 72 healing that buffs everyone into Echo, drop a Thunder Wedge, go back to Taoqi, continue building the Concerto, use her Resonance skill as well. Now from there, once it's built, I'm going to hit her Echo, the Heron, and then I'm going to switch to Jinhsi and immediately Echo with Jinhsi as well to summon Jue for the Resonance skill buff. At this point, I just go through Jinhsi's chain, I use her Resonance skills whenever I can, and then here's the big nuke with all of those buffs, and voila, 335,000 damage. And then rinse and repeat. Go back to Taoqi, into Yuanwu, proc a heal. Here I use his ult, you don't really need to do that. Into the Echo, back to Taoqi, build enough Concerto. Great, and then use her Echo for further buff on Jinhsi. Jinhsi into Jue, her regular chain, and that's it. Okay, so let's get into the builds now. My Calcharo is the same as my previous video. He's maxed out, basically there's nothing left to get on him. He's using Lustrous Razor with a Void Thunder set. I'm still running the Golden Spiky Boy at this point. I don't think I'll ever stop because, hey, why not? It's just for the lulz. Don't do this, it's not optimal at all. I have him still S2. I'm waiting for the day I get him S3. At the same time, I'm kind of reticent to get him to S3 because I'm sure people in the comment section will say my account is not as relatable anymore once I'm there. In any case, I'm running him with Sanhua. Sanhua has Overture to generate Concerto energy with a Moonlit set. She's not maxed out yet, but what is most important is this here, S6, for that 10% attack buff, basically that I can stack twice. Okay, so the next team, we got Jinhsi here. I am running her with a Verdant Summit, that's GN's weapon. Of course, I've got the Jue set on, so the Spectral Light set. And then her skills, not maxed out yet, but I prioritized, of course, the Forte Circuit. That's where most of her damage comes from. And S0 in Jinhsi's case. I'm running her with Yuanwu. Yuanwu is only to proc the healing with this Originite Type 4 weapon. That healing proc buffs everyone because I run him with a Rejuvenating Glow set. So there is a Bellborn 10% buff, plus the Rejuvenating set buffs everyone on the team for 15% for 30 seconds upon healing, which is why I try to proc that healing. Now in terms of Yuanwu's on-field time, there's nothing specific really other than proccing the healing using the Echo and then making sure that this can trigger so that you automatically drop a Thunder Wedge when you switch off of Yuanwu. I have him S6, but that's not really necessary. Now, you switch from Yuanwu into Taoqi. Taoqi in this case has a Discord. This is super helpful, otherwise she's extremely slow. I run Taoqi with the Moonlit set to buff Jinhsi as much as I can upon outroing with Taoqi. And then basically the goal with Taoqi is to just generate as much Concerto energy as I can and then switch off. I do have her S3. The S2 does kind of help with her contribution to the DPS, but really the main goal is to get off of her into Jinhsi and nuke. So that's about it. That's the video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.